What's up, everybody? Marcus here, international business author, speaker, Forbes Business Council contributor, and restaurateur. I'm taking this drive right now, and I'm going about a 30-minute drive, 45-minute drive, and I'm passing a lot of restaurants that have gone out of business in the last 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. It's amazing that on this short drive that there's just literally restaurants everywhere that you see new ownership of the building's vacant or another sign coming soon. Somebody else is going to risk a lot of money to come into an operation, and their chances of success are very bleak in a lot of cases. So, I was a successful chef. I 15 years in the industry, very successful chef. At least I thought I was. Got great paying jobs, got lots of job offers. And when I went to open my own restaurant, I had switched from being a chef to being a chef and running a business. And things changed drastically for me. I lost my confidence because I wasn't making money, and and you get depressed and frustrated, and you want to file bankruptcy. And it's just, thank goodness I had perseverance, and I worked harder and harder and harder. Not smarter, but I was just at a point where I was working harder to get any kind of results. And driving past another restaurant here that just closed, spoke to the owner. 2 months ago I had lunch with him, and great food, great meal, amazing chef. Because I'm closing, I just can't make it. So how do you, and this I hear this story all the time. A lot of restaurants say, I was so busy to begin with. I was so busy, our first couple months we had a lot of people coming in the door, we were busy, and then all of a sudden it just died out. And that is actually very normal. There's a very normal cycle that restaurants go through. Most restaurants go through that. I don't know the percentage, but a lot of restaurants go through that. And I went through that. I was doing lobster night my first couple months open, where we were doing 50 lobsters, 40 lobsters, and all of a sudden I was buying 20 lobsters 6 months later, and I couldn't even sell 10 of those 20 lobsters. But in the beginning, we were pushing lobsters like crazy. They were selling. People were coming in. So I watched it happen in my own business. And the reason is because people want to try your business when they come in. They want to try everyone wants to try a new restaurant. That's the problem. But it's also a good problem to have. Everyone wants to try you. If you know how to basically own the guest, own the customer. And I'm going to talk about that in this video, on how to basically get that guest where they're hooked and they're yours. Not where you physically own them, but where they're yours and they keep coming back and back and back. All right? People will give you a try for the first time. The second and third time, but if they do the second and third time, the chances of them being a lifetime guest of yours keep going up drastically. It's like the second visit is 40% likely they'll keep dining with you. The third visit, it's like 70% likely they're just going to keep as a regular guest. But how do you get them from one visit to 3 is the question. And a lot of restaurateurs struggle with this, and I struggled with this in the beginning. I was like, how do I get those lobster lovers back in my door, right? How do they get back in my door to keep eating lobster on Monday nights? So this is how you do it. These are my golden rules of getting repeat customers. There's several different ways. My ways, not the only way. There's a lot of ways that this can be done. So the very first thing you need to do is start building a database. When people come dine with you, get their email, get their phone number. Even if you don't want to ever do text messaging, get their phone number, get their mailing address, get their birthday. If they're married, get their anniversary, get their spouse's birthday. Get as much information. Find out what they like. Are they a carnivore? Are they vegetarian, vegan? Do they have dietary allergies? Are they gluten-free? Get a little bit of information with a comment card, whether it's a digital or physical comment card. And then from there, we call them bounce back offers. Give them a bounce back offer to come back in. They left? Hey, come back in within the next 30 days and get $10 off your chicken entree, right? Get 2 for 1 this, whatever. Do something, drinks on us, free appetizer, the purchase of an entree. Get them to come back in. When they come back in with the offer, that's your second visit offer. That's your follow-up. That's your bounce back offer. And then from there, once they leave again, shoot them another email or a postcard or handwritten. I love handwritten postcards, by the way. Handwritten postcards rock. And then from there, they bring back in the offer, and now they're taking your third offer, which could be, free dessert, free appetizer, whatever. You have to simply do this progression. But now they've been in your door 3 times. 3 times. And from there, they will become, most likely, a lifetime guest. You don't have to give them an offer every time. That's irrelevant. You don't have to give them a discount or something free every time. You don't need to do that. But you do need to communicate to them. You need to build relationships with them. You need to talk about, in these emails. There's a whole strategy for emails, by the way, that is super highly effective. You want to be personable, likable, tell your story, let them know who you are as the owner. There's a bunch of really cool things that you can actually do to keep these people coming back and coming back and coming back. But the number one way for them to come back is communicate to them directly. Communicate to the ones who have actually been in your establishment before. Most restaurateurs are communicating to people, but they're communicating to the wrong people, or they're communicating to people that are not as highly interested in their restaurant as somebody who's actually been in your restaurant. If they've been in your restaurant, this is a simple thing. If they've been in your doors and they've given you their information, it means they're giving you permission. You've earned permission now to actually communicate and talk to them. Else they wouldn't have they're going to say, well, I don't want to be bothered. Why? I'm not going to give them my email. If they don't want to be bothered somewhere down the road, they'll unsubscribe. And that's perfectly fine. Because again, you want to talk to people that are highly interested in coming back. And the more people you get on the list, the more people you're going to communicate to, the more guests you have in your database. And I can guarantee you, all the restaurants that I drove by literally 6 restaurants that have turned over in the last 5 years because the first owner couldn't make it. My location is no different. My location is no different at all. Okay? I'm in these communities with these restaurants that can't make it. I will tell you one thing. I guarantee you 100% of them. I've been on their websites. I've studied them. I love studying other people's marketing of what they're doing or not doing. Every other single one of those restaurants did not have a database and did not retarget their database. There was no sign up on their email, on their website. There was none of that going on. In fact, while these guests were out eating at other restaurants because they wanted to try a restaurant for the first time, I was sending them an email so they could get back in my doors. And so they go to this restaurant one time, and they're like, okay, let's go back to Marcus. Because it's natural that people want to try new restaurants. It's just natural. There's a buzz around it. That's like one of the biases. It's like the social bias, right? Other people are doing it. I want to do it. But then what happens when that restaurateur is not taking care of marketing? I keep my marketing plan up, and I out-market the other restaurant, and they come back to me in a lot of cases. So, restaurateurs, there is no better time to start building your database than before you opened. You can do this on your website. You can do this with a sign out front. You can do this at street fairs. You can do this all over the place. Even before you open your doors, start the list building. Go on Facebook, start the list building. You can highly targeted people on Facebook, okay, that that are interested in wine, beer, dinner, whatever you're offering. You can see those people and target those people. So start building your list ASAP.